Let's get ready to rumble. Red Bull Ring, here we come. Porsche Cup Challenge, the Americas division. Hello and welcome. This is Michael McLeod, the broadcaster, commentator of the evening for you folks. Hope you enjoy the show. I'm sure everyone here is going to enjoy the race just as much as I will, I'm sure. And yeah, right now you're just taking a look at our open qualifying. It's funny that you say that, Rob. I asked in the Discord, why does everyone go right away in qualifying? I have no idea. And look at what we've got. We've got about half the field who waited, and look how much space there is out there still. There's still a lot of space out on track to find a good little chunk of gap to set your qualifying lap. We have our 4 laps maximum, and it does exactly as it has been planned to do, and it separates the field just a little bit, just like this, so that everyone can actually have space out there. There you go. It's working. So there you go. Right now, we've got 4 minutes left in our qualifying. Some exciting news. I'm sure most of you, I believe, have read this. And for anyone who hasn't read the updates, Pro and Amateur now have a very defined way of setting one from the other. If you are within 101%, 101% of the VRS driver's lap in qualifying or within the race, it puts you have 3 chances. First, I should start off. You have 3 chances to qualify for the Pro Division. And if you get within the 101% within your qualifying or race laps, you are in the Pro Division. The Pro Division has higher prizes, a little bit of a prestige to actually be able to qualify for it. We have more prizes for the drivers in the Pro Division. The last 2 positions in Pro Division who have completed 9 races will also earn a $5 iRacing credit, basically a participation credit, and basically as well. Congratulations on reaching that Pro Division. You're fast enough to make it. You have 3 chances. Your first 3 attended races are your opportunity to make it. After that, after your first 3, if you haven't made it into the Pro Division, then you're an amateur, and you're battling it out with the rest of the field in the amateur. It's funny, most of the European crowd, our European global race, I'd say about 55 to 70% almost, has qualified for the Pro. In our America's version, America's League here that we're watching tonight. In this league, I'd say about 35-40% have qualified for the Pro Division, so it definitely fluctuates based on who shows up and so on. And so it's actually working perfectly and grouping the faster cars with the faster cars for our season standings. We still have quite a few cars on track. Tonight we do have 2 qualifying bans being served, one of Marco Valverde and one of Henry Chung from our penalties of last week. So they are not in our qualifying. So we'll have to follow along with that story as it unfolds of where they place after the race starts. Marco Valverde, of course, being one of our faster drivers. I'm sure he'll be able to make his way through that field cleanly, I hope. I'm sure he will, really. He's got the skill to do it. And so let's see how many positions can he make up before the end of the sprint and then the end of the feature. I'd be actually really excited to see if he could make it into that top 8 reversal or not. I guess no one's gonna know for sure until it happens. Really curious to see how that goes. Really exciting. And yeah, so we're now also joined by Gordon Ramsay from Scotland, and apparently he brings haggis. Disgusting stuff. I don't think anyone likes haggis. I don't even know if Gordon likes haggis, but yeah, there's the Scottish in him coming out for the Americaas race just to see how it is with our bigger grids. And first time chatter, Adrian. There you go. Welcome to the chat. Too bad you couldn't be in this race. I know you could have been in this race, Adrian, but you're not. I don't know why you're not. Anyways, there is the end of qualifying. I'm going to challenge myself this week to see if I can actually call out every single person's name before the race starts. Okay, let's pull up the results. We want our qualify results, and this is our gridding for our sprint 15-minute race. Let's see if I can finish this. Patrick Kingston, congratulations. 4, pole position, Gordon Ramsay. P2, Michael Hounik. 3, Manrique Valverde. 4, Ariel Julian. 5, Charlie Pouyer in 6, Michael Carrillo in 7, Adam Morrow in 8, Young Choi in 9, Simon Fell in 10, Carlos Odalora 11, Carl Ribbing 12, Josh Grosso 13, Mark Santana 14, Aaron Hall 15, Gary Watson 16, Michael David 17, Dan Marrera in 18, we got Bradley Husty in 19, Chuck Baker 20, Diego Militao 21, Anthony Rodriguez 22, and Adrian Kukulas in 23. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish. I have about a minute left. Let me see. Jeffrey Murillo in 24, Tom Jenkins 25, Benjamin Roche 26, Ian Campbell 27, Mike Walsh 28, Marco Valverde 29, Kevin Sidhu 30, Enrico Rojas 31, Henry Chung 32, and I think that's it. I got it all. I did it. Okay. Now, of course, to the race, to the drivers. Let's see. Here we go. Let's get rid of that. How do we get rid of that real quick? I want to go right to here and take that away so we can see the beautiful, beautiful lineup of Porsche cars that we've got here. Let's see, we'll pull, sorry. Let's see if the track map will come up. No, it won't. So no track map right now. We're just waiting for everyone to grid. I think everyone has, in fact, gridded. So now we've got the lights. The lights are going up. We are going to see them go across the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The engine's revving up. And here we go. The lights are off and away we go. Here we go. All these cars heading towards turn 1. What a wild start. Everyone's gotten away nice and cleanly. We got Michael Hounik is challenging for the lead. And this is 3 wide heading through our first corner. Oh, and Ariel Julian looks like he's gone off and had a spin. Real unfortunate for Ariel Julian. And then Gordon Ramsay is now in the lead. Michael Hounik is in 4th. Patrick Kingston is looking like he's in 2nd. Manrique Valverde is challenging for potentially the lead. And he's taken it. And that's put Patrick Kingston up the right side. Gordon in 2nd, 3rd. I don't even know. These cars are battling it out hard for the lead. And it looks like everyone's gotten through nice and cleanly. We got Manrique Valverde on the outside. We got Patrick Kingston on the inside. This is anybody's guess who's going to come out in the lead. Nobody's spun so far. Looks like everyone's going through nice and clean. And now after all of that beautiful chaos, we've got Patrick Kingston is in the lead with, let's see, Manrique Valverde is in 2nd, up 2 positions. Let's bring up, of course, our interval. And let's see how close they are. And wow, look at that, from first all the way to 32nd, not one single car has spun and just gone absolutely wild off the track. This is amazing. What a beautiful sight to see. Wow, great job, everybody. That's all I gotta say. Amazing job. Well played. And here we go with Patrick Hingston leading this 32 car field, going through turn 1, heading up this hill towards turn 2, or is it turn 3? Nobody bloody well knows. Nobody knows. Enrique Valverde a little far back to try and make some overlap. Gordon, who had a real great run at the very start, is now in 4th position. We have a little bit of shuffling through the field a little further back. We're going to follow these guys a little bit right now. Josh Grosso is up 6 positions in the 7th. So yeah, a real great start. Made some excellent passes, as you can see, to be up in 7th position. Michael Carrillo in that beautiful purple Porsche, just following directly behind him, not willing to give up that position just yet, trying to think about how can I get right back up alongside and not lose my spot of where I was. Young Choi, of course, with one little slip up from all of those drivers in front, willing to take any freebies, I'm sure. We've got Marco Valverde is already up into 13th position. This is amazing. We have 16 positions gained from Marco Valverde. That is amazing drive, and they've all been done very cleanly. I haven't seen any incidences in our field other than self-inflicted injuries in the very back. So this is one hell of a drive from the 99 car of Marco Valverde, who's now closer and closer to the front of the pack. So the passes are just going to start getting a little bit more challenging for him. That's for sure. That's for darn sure. So heading up the hill towards turn 3, let's see if he can basically beat this draft train, this DRS train that he's now in. This DRS train starts, of course, with the likes of Joshua Grosso and Michael Carrillo. So these two, are they going to go too wide? You can see the lead pack just up ahead. Joshua Grosso and Michael Carrillo now going too wide. Carrillo is diving up the inside into turn 4. And is he able to take that position? He leaves just enough space for Grosso to drive on that outside line. And Josh Grosso is actually able to hold that spot. Young Choi is now up the inside of Michael Carrillo, taking advantage of that position lost from Carrillo, and now Young Choi is up a spot, and Simon Fell is now looking to do the exact same thing, get up alongside, and there's many cars. We have a long list of drivers wanting to start walking through that door. Now we have a 2 wide with Simon Fell and Carlos Odalora, and of course we got the likes of Marco Valverde wanting to get through. Marco Valverde has now made a pass on Aaron Hall. He's made a pass now on Simon Fell. He's now up into 11th position, so he's having a hell of a drive. Once again, what a beautiful drive, beautiful pass. He saw the gap and he took it with he took charge of that gap and just walked right through that open doorway. Oh, I think Aaron Hall is going to get a large slowdown off of that one. But yeah, here we go. Yeah, he's slowing down. I didn't think he could keep that up. He's slowing down. He's got to let Carl Ribbing go up the inside, and this is just going to be a drag race of many cars, it's looking like. Oh, and Aaron Hall is still ahead. We've got... Which car is this? This is Simon Fell directly behind Carlos Odalora, and up ahead we have... Oh no, and a car has spun. I'm going to have to take a look at the replay on that one. A little bit of damage. Looked like he spun on his own, but looks like everything overall is still A-okay. Let's take a look at our lead driver right now of Patrick Hingston, having an amazing drive himself. to be in P1 and start trying to think about how to run away from this race. Manrique Valverde and Michael Houwenick are directly behind him, not letting him run away quite yet. So I can see this becoming quite a race, especially in a 30-minute feature. It's not going to be so clear-cut of who's going to win this race. That's what it's definitely looking like right now. All of these cars are definitely in it to win it. All these drivers are in it to win it. So yeah, looks like we've got Tiago Militao has crashed. Let's take a real quick look at how did that happen. And here's Tiago coming up the inside, and oh, I have no idea where he went. A little bit of a blink. Something happened. Not favorable, and it looks like he is in the pits going for repairs. Oh no! And it looks like Josh Grosso has gone off the track. Let's just take a quick look. He was having such an amazing drive. Oh no, and just a little bit of a too much brake, too much steering, and he's just gone off of the track, and he is now dropped down the order, and that's put Josh Grosso into 16th position now. Oh, and it looks like he's in 18th. He's gone even further back. This is really not good. Josh Grosso went off the track once again. I just want to take a look at how that happened. Oh, and just two cars coming together. One car going a little wide, one car turning in on the other, and it's just a little bit unfortunate. And yeah, there we go. I just want to check in with everyone. Is the sound of the cars loud enough? I think that they are, and I just want to check with you guys. And yeah, and so here we go with Marco Valverde. Wow, is up into 6th position. What a gorgeous drive from Marco Valverde. He's now starting to think about how can he catch Charlie Pouyer. I've never seen this. I've never seen the likes of any driver serving a qualifying ban in such a field this size and being this far up in the field already in an 8-minute race. This is, I am absolutely blown away by the drive that Marco Valverde here has to get up to that front of the field. He's now placed himself very, very easily into the reverse top 8, and he may even get a top 5 finish at this rate. We're gonna have to see how this goes. This is absolutely incredible. It looks like Ariel Julian has crashed as well. I'm not sure how that happened. Let's just take a quick look at that replay. It looks like heading up into turn 3, under braking. Let's see what happened. That's Chuck Baker there. Oh, and just Chuck Baker. And that's just a little bit of a bump. Just a little bit of an unfortunate racing incident, perhaps, or maybe one for the stewards. We'll have to find out later how that goes. But luckily, he didn't lose too many positions, Ariel Julian, and he's still having a decent race down in 21st. So let's follow along with at the very front where it's for all the marbles. Manrique Valverde has closed the gap on Patrick Hingston. And of course, we've got the likes of Michael Houwenick battling it out with Gordon Ramsay directly behind. These 4 cars have very much set themselves out set themselves apart from the rest of this field. You can see a very clear gap from this 4 to Charlie Pouyer, who's in 5th. Marco Valverde is definitely within this field if he didn't have to serve that qualifying ban. And now we have Patrick Hingston having to throw a defensive line. Are we going to see the over-under? Not quite. Manrique not able to make it happen. So Patrick Hingston's now starting to think about, how do I defend this driver who very clearly wants to be in first spot? Manrique, is he close enough to make a dive down the inside? And no, he's not. He's thinking about just having a little bit of patience. He's going to get him, I'm sure, right here. He got an excellent drive out of turn 1. Patrick Hingston is definitely in trouble here. Who's going to take the left? Who's going to take the inside? Who's going to take the outside? Looks like Patrick is forcing Manrique round the outside. I personally prefer the outside. Manrique is trying to do an over-under that didn't quite work out, and Patrick is still in that lead with a few more laps to go. And now that's slowed down the pack a little bit of Michael Houghton and Gordon Ramsay. Now Gordon Ramsay is starting to poke a nose, thinking about how to make a pass on Michael Houghton, of course. And here these cars go once again around turn 4. This is absolutely wild. And Michael Carrillo has made his way, it looks like, up to where Marco Valverde is. Marco may have burned up his tires with all of that effort of going so fast around all those cars, and may have dropped pace. I'm not sure. Only time will tell. We have 3 minutes left, so he's luckily out of this race very, very shortly. So tires don't matter too much, of course, in this short sprint race. So yeah, I'm gonna take a look real quick at Tom Jenkins with Kevin Sadu. And it looks like Tom Jenkins has some small damage, so I don't think he's going to be able to get any overlap on Kevin Sadu, to be honest, just because damage and aerodynamics. I don't think that he's going to make it. I believe that Kevin had just passed him. Oh, and something is Gordon? Nope. Gordon is still here. It's just his internet. I know that his internet was having funny moments. Here we see Charlie Pouyer coming around turn 3 with Marco Valverde really not that far behind. Definitely in drafting range now, and he's going to start taking advantage of that, I'm sure. I don't know if he'll be able to make the pass. If he does, just wow. All I gotta say is wow. A little further back, we're going to look at Simon Fell, followed by Mark Santana. Aaron Hall not far back of that. Gary Watson in 12th position. Young Choi in 13th. Down 4 positions for Young Choi. The drivers ahead of him all up 4. We got Dan Marrera. He is up 4 positions with Adrian Kukulas. I hope I'm saying that one right. Very first race with us. And he's doing very, very well. Up 8 positions, just being a steady driver. Being followed by the likes of Carl Ribbing, who's very, very confident. Carl and Simon Fell, as some may remember, were in the battle for top 3 positions of our season standings last season. Carl Ribbing is no slouch. He may not be having the best of luck this race. And he's starting to think about a pass on Adrian, as you can see, but I can't give that up. We have right now battle for the lead. Patrick Hingston taking the inside line once again on Manrique Valverde, but Manrique is getting a much better exit out of turn 3, and what that is allowing is a too wide heading into turn 4, and let's see who comes out the best on this one. The outside, of course, has significantly less grip. Is there an over-under? Manrique able to do it? No, and Patrick Hingston has gotten an excellent exit. Oh, and is he up alongside? Yes, he is. This is a battle for the lead on the last lap. They're giving it their all. Manrique is trying to find a way. He's dived down the inside. Patrick Hingston's given the space, and they now still are too wide. This is absolutely wild. Now Michael Houghton is up in the mix. This is a 3-car battle for the win of this race. Michael Houghton trying to figure out, who do I follow through. Patrick Hingston's taking the inside on that second last turn. Manrique is just still trying to find a way through, not able to make it work. What an absolute battle between these cars. Patrick Hingston winning that race, Manrique Valverde in second, Michael Houghton in third. Absolutely beautiful drive from all of those guys, giving it their all. Charlie Pouyer coming in 5th, Marco Valverde in 6th, Michael Carrillo in 7th, Adam Morrow in 8th, Simon Fell in 9th, Mark Santana in 10th, Aaron Hall in 11th, Gary Watson 12th, Young Choi in 13th, Dan Marrera in 14th. Carl Ribbing in 15th. He did make that pass on Adrian Kukulas. Bradley Husty in 17th, now just coming around. Mike Walsh. Oh, no, wrong car. That's not Mike Walsh. This is Mike Walsh right here with the Suck Your Mom on. I believe that's what it says on his back window. Yep, that's exactly what it says. Followed by Ian Campbell, who's up 8 positions. Kevin Sadu is up 10 positions. Ariel Julian from that spinner is down 16. Tom Jenkins is up 3. Chuck Baker's down 3. Enrico Rojas up 7. And a bunch of cars that may have been self-inflicted, may have been bumps. I am not sure, to be honest. Down many positions, we got Josh Grosso, as I remember, went off the track and just had unfortunate incident after unfortunate incident, down in 27th. Let me take those results just to look at the bottom few cars, because I didn't name them off quite yet. Adrian Kukulas, how did he make it down to 27th? He was up further. That's interesting. I am not sure how that one happened, but Jeffrey Murillo in 28th, Benjamin Roche in 29th, Anthony Rodriguez in 30th, Henry Chung in 31st, Diego Militao in 32nd. Nope, that's exactly it right there. I have no idea. I like that, Rob. Permanent qualifying ban for Marco Valverde. He's too fast. We can't do it. Yeah, no. What a drive, I gotta say. Absolute wonderful performance from Marco Valverde. And now that he's within that top 8, within that reverse 8, we're going to see how Marco handles in the long term, in the long run, with this 30-minute feature, the management of his tires, because that definitely matters. If you burn your tires up in the first 15 minutes, of course, you're not going to be good in the last 15. If you burn them up in the first 20, you still have 20 minutes of racing. That's a lot of racing. So let's see how this story plays out. Let's take this down. I'm going to pull that back up. And I want to take a look at... There we go. Which camera view do I like the most? I don't know. I think I like this one. There we go. We got all of the cars. Here we go. The lights are on. The lights are going up. Lights are off and away we go. And we see some smoke. Looks like Michael Carrillo got a little bit not so great of a start. And Adam Morrow got an excellent start. He is in the lead of this race heading through turn 1. So, and Marco Valverde is up into second, so he definitely benefited large off of that reverse grid. Every car looks like is getting through nice and cleanly. Let's go take a look at the leader of our race. And just a little further back, we have Manrique making that dive up the inside, trying to make up some of those positions lost from that reverse grid. Oh, and it looks like everyone is going through a little bit slow, to be honest, but still nice and cleanly through turn 3. And that's what we definitely like to see. We have a whole bunch of 2 wide. Oh, wow. And Michael Hownick is gone off the track. I am not sure how that happened. Let's just take a quick look at how did that happen. Oh, and just a little bit of a bump from Michael Carrillo, and that's a very unfortunate situation for Michael Hownick, who may be out of this race. If he tows, he may be able to make up a whole bunch of positions. We'll have to see. Adam Morrow is now in the lead of this race, being challenged by Marco Valverde, who started at the very back, and he's going in up the inside into turn 1. Is Adam Morrow going to back out, or is he going to challenge? No, and there you go. And Adam Morrow has conceded the position, chosen to stay conservative, not work it too hard, and just allow him to go and maybe go get a nice toe to get ahead even further of Charlie Pouyer, who's now in 3rd, and Manrique Valverde in 4th, and Patrick Kingston in 5th. Oh, and Manrique has made a lunge up the inside on Charlie Pouyer for a pass up into 3rd. Beautiful, beautiful pass, I gotta say. Let's see what else has been happening. We're gonna have a whole lot of action heading into turn 3. And here we go. We got Mike Walsh basically just giving up the position to Dan Marrera, just laying it go real easy. I think Mike Walsh's game is just to be conservative and finish the race, and that's his game plan of what I know of him. He's got Ariel Julian in tow, looking to get through this pack, get right back up to the front. Ariel Julian is a very fast driver, very capable driver, and he's got Josh Grosso, who's directly behind him, who is up 8 positions, trying to break through this field just as much as Ariel Julian is. So this is quite an interesting situation that's started, and it looks like, yeah, and there you go. Mike Walsh is just being that conservative driver and just letting them go, and maybe thinking, hey, you guys go kill each other out there, and I'll just gain positions off that. But these two drivers, they're both very great drivers. I can't see them doing that. Looks like a few cars went off wide. The likes of Gary Watson went a little bit wide, and he's just having to wait to rejoin that track. And yeah, right back up to our lead drivers. We got Marco Valverde, Adam Morrow, and Manrique Valverde in this top 3, all very much in contact of each other. Patrick Kingston and Gordon Ramsay have broken through the barrier of Charlie Pouyer, so that's put Charlie now down to 7th position. What is happening, Charlie? Charlie, the chocolate factory, is just not having a good race over here. It looks like he's about to lose another to the likes of Michael Carrillo. Oh, it's not quite. He's able to still stay ahead, but how long is it going to last if this is the way that Charlie's going to be driving? Of course, Charlie was our 2nd position driver of our season last season. So he is still a very competent driver. I would not scoff at that name if I see it in my rear view mirror or in front of me. That's for sure. That's for darn sure. But of course, he does have a lot of drivers now surrounding him, the likes of Michael Carrillo, Simon Fellow, Young Choi. There's a lot of cars right there willing to take any and every single spot if you make a mistake, and that's exactly what we're going to see. We have 25 minutes to go, and that's a lot of time to make mistakes, so we're going to have to see what happens in the long term. Adam Morrow having the drive of his life up in 2nd spot. Manrique is closing that gap. Adam's looking like he's losing Marco just a little bit, just slightly, a little bit lap after lap. So definitely can see Manrique starting to try and find a way through, because these two, Marco and Manrique, they are cousins, and I'm sure just as I have with any of my family members, a lot more competition with family, with friends. Definitely want to try and beat them that little bit more. So definitely expect to see Manrique and Marco really battle it out. I want to see what these two can do, and Manrique is closer than he's ever been to Adam Morrow right now. Is he thinking about making a lunge up the inside? Not quite. He's got to wait, try and make this pass as safe and painless as possible. So he's just going to hold back. It looks like he's going to set up the nice, beautiful run towards turn 1. He gets an excellent exit out of that last corner, and that's exactly what Manrique has done. He's definitely going to get overlap heading into turn 1. Oh, and you know what? I was wrong. Look at that. He wasn't able to get there. Not quite. Let's see if he's able to make it by the next set of the next braking zone. Turn 2, turn 3. I don't even know. I have no idea how they number this. It's an absolute mystery, and he does. Manrique actually does make that overlap, under braking. What a beautiful dive under braking. Adam Morrow does not want to give up the position. He takes the inside lane position, heading towards the next corner. This is anybody's race right here. And Manrique is late on the brakes. They are both late on the brakes, and it looks like Adam even later, a little bit of door banging, and this is now a race, boys. It looks like Aaron Hall has gone off. I'm not sure how, why, if that was on his own. It probably was on his own. That's a very easy braking zone to make that mistake. And of course, Marco Valverde is just in his happy place, being able to run away from this field and relieve himself of all of that stress. What a battle this has become, with a lot of very fast drivers. Adam Morrow leading this pack, with Manrique Valverde, Patrick Hingston, Gordon Ramsay all right here trying to find a way to break through. Adam Morrow is definitely at risk. Manrique is taking the inside lane position heading into turn 1, and this is anybody's guess at how this is going to go, as Patrick is also trying to walk through that door, not able to make it work. These are tight clearances between every one of these drivers, and now Gordon Ramsay is making a move on Patrick Hingston. Patrick Hingston has that inside line. Gordon has the outside. Let's see who outbrakes who. Both of these drivers pushing that braking zone to the absolute limit. Gordon Ramsay is able to get a better exit outside of that, on the outside of that corner. Of course, that's how the outside corner goes, but these two cars are still side by side. Under braking, Patrick on the inside, Gordon on the outside. The outside line is not an easy line to drive, and just like that, just as Gordon's shown you, that outside line is not an easy line to take. Very easy to go wide. It's a heavy understeer. What a beautiful drive from all of these. What a battle. Absolutely incredible. And in that time, Manrique Valverde has made it by Adam Morrow. When did that happen? I think that happened that happened at turn 1. Adam Morrow, now it's Patrick Hingston is gotta try and get by, if Adam will allow it. And Adam, being a very competent driver, he's not gonna give it up easy, I gotta say. I know that for sure. With Marco Valverde 2.5 seconds ahead of the likes of his cousin, that's given him a really nice gap. All thanks to Adam Morrow. But of course, you know what? That's racing. Don't give it up easy. Battle it out, and that's what we're here for. That's what the reverse grid is for, is to add excitement. That's exactly what we're seeing here today. Don't give it up easy. If someone wants to get by you, make them work for it. That's beautiful. That's the way it really should be. Of course, don't make it dirty, but don't give it up easy. Looks like we've got Aaron Hall and Simon Fell are close battles. We've also got Mike Walsh and Tom Jenkins. Mike Walsh giving it up easy. Fortunately, Tom Jenkins making a mistake on that corner exit. Tom Walsh's consistency able to get that position right back. But I don't think Tom Jenkins is just going to give up quite yet. He's now going too wide with Gary Watson. Gary Watson on the outside. Tom Jenkins on the inside. And now Gary Watson has made it through. Looks like Aaron Hall, something has happened to the likes of Aaron Hall. He went off the track. Let's take a real quick look at what happened. I think this was something he did to himself. Yep. Yeah, Aaron just wanted to take a beach vacation down to Florida. He thought it looked pretty. He bought the plane ticket and he landed down at Cocoa Beach. There you go. And that's how Aaron dropped down a whole bunch of positions. Marco Valverde is still in the lead with Manrique in tow. We got Adam Morrow and Patrick Hingston now making a lunge up the inside of Adam Morrow. Adam Morrow is giving that space, but having an excellent exit. Of course, that outside line of turn 3 has a much better, much stronger drive out of the corner. So the inside line is definitely a shorter distance to travel, but that exit, it's not helping you. It's not doing you any favors. And so here we are with Charlie Puyer being chased by Michael Carrillo and Young Choi. Looks like Charlie is down 2, Michael Carrillo is down 5, and that's just reverse grid things. It's not a bad thing. We got Ariel Julian, who is up 11 positions into 9th, having a great drive. Simon Fell is down only 1 position. That's not bad at all. That's definitely damage control with 18 minutes of race to go. That could easily turn into 1 position up, 2 positions up, or many positions down. We'll have to see how that goes. Mark Santana, the consistent classic steady Eddie of our league. He was one of our first members to join the league way back when we had very little cars, to be honest, maybe 5 cars on the grid. And now we've got 32, and it's absolutely wonderful to see Mark sticking by this league and to see where he's at. Josh Grosso is up 14 positions, made a lot of clean passes clearly to get to where he's at now. And it looks like Patrick Hingston has now made that pass on Adam Morrow heading into turn 3. Is Adam Morrow going to give it up easy? I don't think so. Patrick Hingston wants that inside line. He's going to force Adam Morrow to go around the outside. Adam Morrow does not want that outside. He's conceded the position. He's going to try maybe an over-under. He's not quite able to make that work. Not quite. Oh, and we see Young Choi has crashed. Let's take a quickie look at how did that happen. And just a little bit of grass. You know what they say, stay off the grass, kids. And he just, a little bit of grass and into the wall. That is an unfortunate way to potentially end your race yourself. And that's put Josh Grosso up another position, of course, who's now starting to look at how can he get past the likes of Mark Santana and maybe even Simon Fell. What a drive he is having. We're going to head a little further back in our field to look at Gary Watson, Mike Walsh, and Diego Militao. That is an awesome bright blue paint scheme. I like it. We've got now 2 wide with Gary Watson, Mike C. Walsh, and the Monster Energy drink car of Gary Watson is in the lead. Oh, Mike Walsh has to slam on the brakes harder than he expected, and that's put Diego up the inside, heading towards turn 1 with Chuck Baker in tow, potentially thinking about making a pass himself. Is Chuck going to go for it? No, Mike Walsh is going to guard that inside line, not allowing Chuck to get up alongside, but it's opened him up on the exit of the next corner for Chuck to get some overlap and go 2 wide into the next braking zone. And of course you got Enrico Rojas it directly behind as well, but Chuck not able to get up alongside. So Mike Walsh is still holding that position, but in total he's down 4. So maybe being that steady Eddie driver is not the way anymore. Oh, and Carlos looks like he has spun. That's unfortunate for all cars involved. Okay, back up to, where was I? Here we are. Here's where the racing really matters. We have a lot of cars very much in contact of each other. This is going to turn in quite a battle on even more cars now with Carl Ribbing into the mix. We've got Carl Ribbing here, a little bit of damage to his nose. The car's not looking too happy. But Carl Ribbing being the driver he is, I know he can still make the best of it. We got Chuck Baker and Enrico not far behind. And it looks like, who is that going into the pits? Who is that going into the pits? Is that Mike Walsh? That is Mike Walsh going into the pits. He must have a drive-through. Let's follow along. Actually, I can't follow along. Oh, because we have a 2 wide situation. Yeah, we do. And Charlie Puyer is letting Ariel Julian make a pass. So Charlie is now down 4 positions. Ariel Julian is up 13 positions in our 30-minute feature race. So Ariel Julian has made 1 more pass on Charlie, and that was most likely from a great exit out of turn 3. And let's see, anyone out there watching this race, let me know who you're cheering on. I'll give a shout out and I can follow along with your favorite driver for a little bit, just to see how they're doing. I'm going to take a look at the Mr. Moo Moo Cow of Ian Campbell, who's in 24th position. He's down 6 positions total. Not having the greatest drive of his life, I'm sure. But so he has a lot to look forward to in the future. You know, when you don't play so well and then all of a sudden you do, it's just like, oh, something's happening at the front. Nope. That's just Gordon's internet connection. That's just Gordon. Being Gordon with his internet. But yeah, as I was saying, is that when you have not some great races and all of a sudden you put a race together, it feels so good. It's like an absolute high to finally figure it out and put the pieces of that puzzle together. And so definitely look for Ian Campbell to one day put those pieces of the puzzle together. We have a 2-wide situation heading. Where are we on the track? This is Josh Grosso and Simon Fell heading down into turn 4, 2 wide. Josh Grosso on the inside, Simon Fell on the outside. Josh Grosso has a much shorter distance to travel, and he is now up 1 more position. Josh is up 17 total in the race so far. 1 more off of Simon Fell, and Kevin Sadu is directly behind, but I don't think that these guys are going to get that spot back off of Josh Grosso. Josh Grosso, of course, was our race winner last week after all of that chaos that took place. He's able to come out, survive, and win that race with a beautiful first appearance in our league. So Josh Grosso is no slouch. Here, you heard it from me now, and you're seeing it from him on track. And Josh Grosso is already starting to make that gap. So let's head right back to Diego. Oh, it looks like we also have Henry, the likes of Henry Chung, battling it out with Jeffrey Merlot and Michael David. So we have 3 cars, and of course, every single position matters. Don't make it easy for anyone. If you can, battle it out. And so we've got Henry Chung directly behind Jeffrey Merlot, up 3 positions, just trying to get by. Up 3 positions is not bad. Oh, and just by being nice and consistent, by being there, placing himself in the right spots, Jeffrey Merlot felt the pressure and just had spun himself off the track and into the barrier. And so now Henry's gonna start thinking about how can he get by. Oh, and then Henry goes off himself. So maybe not the greatest. Oh, and it looks like we've got Patrick Hingston has made a pass on Manrique Valverde up the inside on one of the final sequence of turns on our lap. And let's just take a quick look. I want to take a quick look. Does Manrique go for the dive up the inside in the turn 1? No, he's going to be patient and think twice about it. Did I click the right thing? I did, and here is the pass. A dive up the inside just before the braking zone. Very well executed pass from Patrick Hingston to get our 2nd position in the race. And start thinking about, with 9.5 minutes left to go, can he break that gap to Marco Valverde, who's very much in the clear of this race, in that lead, 3 seconds ahead. Patrick Hingston, he has done it before. Is he going to do it again? Let's find out. Only time will tell, and we've got 9 minutes of time. So not a lot of time. Let's see what happens. For now, we're going to jump back around the field just a little bit to where Josh Grosso is. He's starting to break away just a tiny bit, just a little bit, from Simon Fell. Kevin Sadu looks like he has spun, and that may be a little bit of the broadcaster curse. As soon as the camera goes on you, you know what? Oops, I gotta go off the track. But yeah, just like they always say, stay off the grass, kids. And sorry, Kevin, but there you go. We've got even further back. Oh, Do we? No, we don't have a battle. That's just something's happening up there. Oh no. Oh no, that's just internet things once again. So we've got Enrico and Tom Jenkins are one of our closest cars on track. Oh, and Gary Watson's gone off. And so that's allowed a few more cars to make up a few spots. Something has happened to Gordon Ramsay, I think. I have no idea. Let's go right up to the front of this field to see what's happening. Okay, everything is okay. Everything is okay. So we still have Marco in the lead, Patrick in second, and it's just when I go to the cars in the back that are close to a lap down, it starts doing funky things on the timing tower. If someone could ever explain that, yeah, let me know. So you want to see how is Aaron Hall doing? Aaron Hall had an off. He went off the track on his own. He went for that vacation down in Florida on the beach, and it didn't turn out so well. So Aaron was in a real great spot. He was up into, I think it was like 7th or so, and now he's down in 14th spot, down 3 positions total from where he started. So he could be better off, but 14th is still not a bad spot to be at all in a grid of 32 cars. That's for sure. Dan Marrera is closing the gap on Mark Santana. It looks like Dan Marrera is up 2 positions. I definitely would rank Dan Marrera into the class of the steady Eddies, right up there with the likes of Mark Santana. So if these 2 cars can close this gap even further, or if Dan Marrera can close this gap even further, I'm curious what a battle between these 2 cars would look like. Would they be giving it up easy, or are they going to say, hey, no way, I'm not letting you pass? So Dan Marrera is definitely benefiting off that draft to get a little bit closer. And getting an excellent exit. And is he able to get up alongside? Not quite, so we're gonna have to follow along just a little bit more. But for now, I just want to take a look at how the leader of our race is doing, Marco Valverde. Starting from the bottom, and now we're here. Marco Valverde in the lead. Patrick Hingston has taken half second, I would say 6/10 of a second gap off of that leader to second place. So this really could become interesting. That was only about 3 minutes of time and a half second gap. Patrick's definitely showing his pace. We really could see a battle for P1. It all depends on if Manrique lets him go, or does he want to play a bit of a team game with his cousin and try and slow Patrick down. I guess we'll have to find out. Of course, our league does not have teams. It's all just personal choice if you really want to do that or not. But yeah, we have no teams, and so there's no team orders, basically. Here, we've got Carlos Odolora being chased down by Carl Ribbing, who has a little bit of damage. Looks like both cars may have some damage, which is evening the playing field. Is Carlos going to get some overlap from the car behind of Carl Ribbing? And he is. Carl Ribbing's going to have to go around the outside on turn 3. Of course, that is the better way, I think. You get a much better exit out of the corner, heading to the next one. And very tight clearances from both drivers. Carlos not leaving just barely enough room. Carl Ribbing not able to take advantage of that, but definitely able to get up alongside before the next braking zone. He's going to try and go around the outside once again. Carlos, covering that shorter distance, is still able to stay ahead. Carl Ribbing is not letting him go. And of course, we've got the likes of Chuck Baker directly behind in the car number 924, willing to take advantage of any slips or mishaps from these guys. from these cars ahead of him. We've got Chuck Baker is up 3 positions, Carlos Odalora is up 7, and Carl Ribbing is down 3 total from his little bit of I guess he hit that car that was stopped. So yeah, just a little bit of a maybe a target fixation we'll go with. But now don't look now is Carl Ribbing going up the inside on Carlos Odalora into turn 1, getting an excellent exit, making a beautiful pass. And now Chuck Baker is looking up the inside of Carlos Odalora as well. Is he able to get up there? It looks like he will. Chuck Baker, now we have a 2 wide. Carlos may be down 2 spots. Chuck Baker taking that inside under braking and taking that position clean and clear. Carlos Odalora is now down 2 spots from where he was just last lap, with Carl Ribbing and Chuck Baker behind him. And now up to that lead pack, we've got Marco Valverde with 2.5 minutes to go. Patrick Hingston is 2 seconds away. Manrique Valverde is 1 second off of P2. Gordon Ramsay is in P4, just keeping it together, holding together those tires. Adam Morrow is in 5th position, 4 spots down. Having an excellent drive. He started in a really great spot with the reverse grid, and his strong driving skills are keeping him in an excellent spot after this 30 minutes. Ariel Julian is up in the 6th spot. Wow. With 14 positions gained. Michael Carrillo and the likes of this purple Porsche in 7th, with Charlie Poulier in tow, down 4 spots. Josh Grosso in 9th spot, with 17 positions gained, as you can see. Simon Feld down 1, so a little bit of damage control from the likes of Simon Feld, just being nice and consistent in his finishing positions. And of course, we can see Mark Santana and Dan Marrera, both the steady Eddie conservative drivers. Not too much happening yet between these guys. Given their nature, I'm not sure if anything will. But they're very much in close contact of each other, with Young Choi not far off, Aaron Hall not far back in 14th still, Bradley Husty, followed by Kevin Sidhu, and Carl Ribbing directly behind. Maybe not directly, quite a bit behind, with Chuck Baker directly behind Carl. Carlos Odalora is now getting lost just a little bit in from those cars that had just recently passed him. And Rico Rojas is now coming around with Diego Militao directly behind him. Ian Campbell and the Moo Moo Cow, with Michael David directly behind. Michael David looks like he has a little bit of damage. Is he going to go for the inside on Ian Campbell? And no, he's not. He's just going to be nice and conservative. Let's see. Of course, this is our last lap of our race. Patrick Hingston not able to get up alongside Marco Valverde, but very strong effort. Marco Valverde has 2 more corners left, and he'll be able to cross that finish line in the lead and win the race. And let's see. Here he goes. Marco Valverde is now coming across that second last corner. Now he's hitting the brakes, diving in for the apex, coming on the throttle, coming out of that corner. He's now, wow, what a beautiful drive. Congratulations, Marco Valverde, for winning that race. Congratulations to Manrique, ending in 2nd. How did that happen? Patrick Hingston in 3rd. Maybe he gave up too soon. Adam Morrow in 4th. Gordon Ramsay in 5th. Ariel Julian in 6th. Up 14 positions. Michael Carrillo 7th. Charlie Poulier in 8th. Josh Grosso in 9th. Simon Fell in 10th. Dan Marrera in 11th. Mark Santana in 12th. It looks like he did get past. Young Choi in 13th. Aaron Hall in 14th. Bradley Husty in 15th. Kevin Sidhu in 16th, Carl Ribbing in 17th, Chuck Baker in 18th, Carlos Aulalora in 19th, Enrico Rojas in 20, Diego Militao in 21, Michael David in 22, Ian Campbell in 23, and Anthony Rodriguez in 24. Gary Watson in 25, Tom Jenkins in 26, and we see Henry Chung in 27th, able to make up 4 positions total. And it looks like Henry Chung is the last driver to come across that finish line. And at this point of the race, if anyone wants to do an interview, definitely feel free. I want to actually quickly take a look at how did Dan Marrero make it past Mark Santana. So Mark Santana, and that is how it happened. And we can also take a look at how did Manrique make it past Patrick Kingston. Patrick may have gone a little bit wide. Oh, and he did. And so Patrick went wide. He had to slow really quickly for that slowdown, or else he would have gotten a very large penalty, and that allowed Patrick Kingston to make a pass. Michael David also made a pass. Did he make it before the line? I don't think. Nope. It was not before the line. It was after that line, but it was quite a drive to get to that line. When did Charlie pass? Oh, and this was Charlie on the last lap, I think. Yep, this was Charlie making a pass on Michael Carrillo. Oh, no, that... Maybe not. Maybe not quite making the pass. Maybe not making a stick, but... there you go. And let's just pull up our results of that race. And there you have it. Oh, no, I gotta switch it, of course. So that was our heat race. Patrick Kingston won our sprint race. And when we bring up our race for all the marbles, our 30-minute race, we have Marco Valverde, who won the race. Congratulations once again to have a qualifying ban and then win the race. Wow, absolutely wow. Manrique Valverde in second position. So the two cousins locking out that quick 1-2. Patrick Kingston having to slow for that slowdown, but rounding out our podium position in P3, Adam Morrow in P4, Gordon Ramsay in P5, Ariel Julian in P6, Michael Carrillo in 7, Charlie Pouyer in 8, Josh Grosso in 9, Simon Fell in 10, Dan Marrero in 11, Mark Santana in 12, Young Choi 13, Aaron Hall in 14, Bradley Husty in 15, Kevin Sidhu 16, Carl Ribbing 17, Chuck Baker 18, Carlos Aulalora in 19, Enrico Rojas 20, Diego Militao in 21, Michael David 22, Ian Campbell 23, Anthony Rodriguez 24, Gary Watson 25, Tom Jenkins 26, Henry Chung 27, Jeffrey Merlo 28, Adrian Kukulaz in 29, Mike C. Walsh 30, Benjamin Roche in 31, and Michael Hownick in 32. We actually have a taker for the interview. So I'm going to just pull him in right now into the broadcast booth. And we have the likes of Mike Walsh in the interview booth right now with us. And yeah, welcome to the interview, Mike Walsh. And yeah, how you feeling?
Hey, how's it going, Mike?
Wait, let me see. I don't know if I can hear you right now. And let me change my sound settings just to make sure that I can hear you and make sure that everyone else can hear you too. Okay. Are you there?
Yep, I'm here. You good to go?
Yeah, perfect. So how was that race for you? How did it all go?
So everything that could have went wrong ended up going wrong there. That was not good for me.
So let's see. You started in...
It goes 17th or 18th for the feature.
So you started in 17th position. Not a bad place to start. It's definitely in the thick of it. Turn 1, turn 3, turn 4. Definitely a challenge to navigate that with so many cars in front of you, behind you. So how was that in 17th? How did that feel?
With the drivers we have, everybody was pretty respectful there. I went 3 wide into turn. I think the first 4 turns we went 3 wide, no contact at all. So that was actually really nice.
Wow, that's really great to hear. So that's actually a sign to me that our penalty system is working. People are paying attention. Racing with the same people week after week is also a huge benefit because you just don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean? So I'm really
That went
glad.
through my mind a few times during some lockups. Is don't be that guy.
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy. So yeah, I'm glad everyone made it through cleanly. So yeah, I see being down a lot of positions. We definitely noticed that on the broadcast here. So what happened?
So I ended up spinning into the pit lane and getting a slowdown for that. So that was 40 seconds, and then ended up in blue flag hell, and then trying to let people pass. I ended up getting over the allotted incident points. So I had a drive through, but it was the last lap, so I couldn't take my drive through. So I actually DQ'd.
Yeah, that's.
Yep.
I think if anything bad could happen, it just did. I actually
It
caught you
did.
going through the pits, and I was like, "What's happening here? Where are you going?" And that explains how you end up in the pits. That's sorry to hear, but let me see if I can actually
Still a
find
fun
a.
race.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that. Yeah, here we go. Okay, I got that on replay. Let me see if I can actually get this on replay. Mike C went off the track. I don't think I can get it. Wait. Oh, no, I can get it if I do this. Here we go. Is it this replay? No. Came back on the track right here. Is this
That was second to last turn. I forget the lap. Actually, hold on. I might be able to pull up the lap.
Why am I? I'm just seeing someone in the wall. Oh, well, I can't make it happen. But yeah, I'm glad that you had a lot of fun. Even DQing. Yeah, so we've actually got 2 more guys ready to jump into our interview booth. So I'm going to just keep you here for now and bring them over. And
Sounds good.
yeah. Okay, I'll move. We've got the likes of Joshua Grosso. Am I saying your last name correctly?
Not quite. It's Grasso.
Grosso? Okay, welcome to the
Literally
interview booth.
Everybody makes that mistake.
Grosso. Okay, welcome to the interview booth. Thanks for joining us. And yeah, you started quite far back in our feature race and ended up in 9th position, up 17 spots total. So how was that race for you? How does that feel starting so far back with all those cars? And yeah, how you feeling?
I mean, it's a little bit discouraging because I made some mistakes in the sprint, and a couple other people made mistakes into me. But I'm feeling pretty good about the positions I made up in the feature. It makes up for it.
Yeah, definitely. And up that many spots, it's that's quite a drive. And I guess you also won last week's race. That must have been quite a thrill as well. Like how did that feel? How much were you sweating after that one?
I'll plead the fifth.
Yeah, just throw a towel down and just you gotta take a cold shower after that one. Yeah, the guys in the chat here are saying they can barely hear you. So if you could get your
I have everything turned up as much as I can.
You should be able to turn him up too, Michael.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. There we go. I got you even a little bit louder. But yeah, that is quite a beautiful drive. And how was that race start for you with all those cars in front of you, all those cars behind you? What was going through your mind on that race start? What was your plan of attack in that feature?
At the start, just be as aggressive as I can, but also be as safe as I can, and try to get the best, start as I can, in terms of actually starting the car, because I'm working on that.
Yeah, definitely. How long have you been driving this car so far?
I've never really dedicated myself to a car, but I mean, I probably put in, for this league, probably like 10 hours of practice.
Oh, and that's it. And you're just already here. Wow, that's amazing.
I mean, I've never really dedicated myself to a car, so I don't really know. I just kind of drive whatever's fun.
Yeah, hey, you know what? That's the way to do it, to be honest. Keeps everything live. I'm going to pull in one more person into the interview booth. I've got Adam Morrow coming in. And here we've got Adam Morrow. Are you there, Adam?
Yeah, right here, Mike. How's it going?
Hey, buddy. It's going pretty good. How about you?
Good, good. It's just wiping the sweat off that race there. That
Oh,
was a
buddy,
good
how
one.
you feeling off? How you feeling after that race? By starting in, was it second you started, and all of a sudden up to first, leading the race? Oh, what was going through your mind?
You know what? I knew those top guys were pretty quick, and I was kind of discouraged in practice and qualify. I just didn't have that raw speed. But I just said, let's make these guys' life a living hell as best I can, and see where I settled in. And then I feel like I kind of came into my own near the halfway point there, chasing Gordon Ramsay, who drove amazing. But those Valverde family there,
Cousins.
they cousins, they're just they were sandwich beating me up there, having their way with me at the beginning. But
Oh,
great
they
race,
had your
everyone drove
number.
well.
They're knocking on your door all race long, definitely. And look
Yeah,
at
yeah,
and Marco Valverde starting from the back and making his way to the top. Wow, what a drive!
yeah, those guys were definitely moving for sure. But I'm happy with that. I always kind of say, top 10 and settle in. I'll take that for sure. It was everyone drove good.
Definitely. And starting the race, was it second you started in?
I actually had the pole because I finished eighth. I spun out a little bit, so the heat. I think I was already kind of changing my T-shirt before the gate dropped there at the start. Little,
Yeah. I gotta ask, were you excited to be in eighth spot, or were you like, oh shit, like I don't want to be here?
you know me, Mike. I don't pay attention too much to the rules or the structure, so I was kind of just trying to piece it all to my head. And what does this mean? Does it mean I'm up front or in the middle? So when I agreed, I was like, what the heck's going on? But tried to make the best of it.
Yeah, definitely. I think I would be scared out of my mind if I'm in eighth and all of a sudden I'm in first with all these guys behind. Oh man! But you did a heck of a drive with all of that pressure behind and showed your pace as well, and just kept it together to end in fourth. That's so beautiful drive on your end.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and it was interesting seeing Josh there come up because he was one ahead of me in Road Atlanta. So interesting to. I wonder how that would have played up because he's got the speed to be up there in that top 5, top 10 kind of part there.
Yeah, definitely. I've now pulled Adrian. I'm gonna guess your name. You say your last name Kukulas?
Somewhat, very close. I was listening to your stream as we were racing. Kukulis.
Kukulas. Kukul. I'm just not saying it fast enough.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's my first race with the Porsche Cup challenge, so I just want to say thank you for hosting it. It was great.
Yeah. And how was that for you? Let me see. I think you ended near the back.
Yeah, the first sprint race I finished 15th, but for some reason I got a black flag on the last lap for running the track wide, but it didn't give me the slowdown message. And so,
Oh,
and so I finished 15th, and then I saw on the stream that I finished 27th, and then in the heat or the main race, I got bunged out, and then had to get damage repaired. So yeah, it was fun.
yeah, definitely. I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad you came out. Front or back, we guarantee you're gonna have fun. It's Porsche Cup Challenge, the challenge of I guess just driving this car, and the challenge that we offer with our format.
Yeah, it was great. It was a good experience, and it's not my first real month on iRacing, so I'm getting used to it. I'm still quite slow, but trying to be as consistent as I can. I look forward to getting quicker.
And weren't you the guy who had the braking line on, and we had that giant chat about it?
Yeah, correct. Yep.
Yep,
Still,
yep.
still, still learning. So today was my first race without the braking line. So
Oh wow, congratulations on that. That's an amazing job to
yeah,
race with all of these cars, not having the braking line. Like really good job. That's
yeah, it was a
amazing.
fast field. Who was the guy that won the main race?
Marco,
Valverde.
the feature race, Marco
Yeah,
Valverde, yeah.
and he started from the rear on the sprint race, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't even see him pass me in the sprint race.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah, that's
Um,
good.
yeah. Thanks for everyone here for joining this interview booth. Is actually a lot of fun. Yeah, thanks for coming in, and thanks everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for being a part of that race. And yeah, have a good evening. I can't wait to see you all next week. And congratulations once again for Marco Valverde for a heck of a drive, starting at the back and making his way to the top. I can't say anything more other than that was a dominating drive from car number 99. And I can't wait to see how next week goes. And so,
Thanks
yeah.
again for hosting, Mike.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
Mike, thanks so much for putting it all
thanks.
together for us. It was a blast. Thanks again.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, and as I said, I was listening to it as I was racing, and it was great to hear as we were going through it.
Yeah. So have a good night, everyone. And yeah, I'll see you later.
Again, thanks for hosting. Usually, big grid leagues are not very clean, but this is probably one of the cleanest leagues I've been in. Like, even though there's so many cars.
Yeah. I've now muted all of you from. Oh.